So how can you find out if you have malware on your Linux server? You can calculate the fingerprints of any file you have on the computer and put them in a virus database to see if those fingerprints match any of the database. For example, here on this Linux server, we are in the uploads directory. They uploaded some files to users, and we have two files here. We could calculate the fingerprint with this command, SSH256 sum. This will return a unique digital fingerprints, which is a set of characters that is unique to that file. Every file has a unique line of characters. So let's say we do it for README, and you'll see this README PDF has this unique line of characters. This is the digital fingerprint. It identifies that file. So if we copy this and then go to virustotal.com, we can paste that in, and you'll see this file is not detected as malicious. It's not malware. And you'll see on the virustotal.com, it is checked by many virus databases. So you've got a lot of famous antivirus companies, and it's checked in their database, is this file known malware? So you'll see it really checks a lot of different databases for that file. And so really good for detecting malware. Now let's try the other file, SSH256 sum, and we do the documents.zip. You'll see it generated this unique fingerprint for the file. Notice that they are completely different. It is because the fingerprints are generated based on the contents of the file. So it's not based on the file name. It is based on whatever contents, whatever data is in the file. And based on that, it generates those unique digital fingerprints. So let's check this digital fingerprint of documents.zip to see if this is a virus. We go to virustotal.com and we paste it in, and you'll see 54 of 61 antivirus companies says this is a virus. You'll see not all of them detect it as a virus, but the majority of them does. And on virustotal.com, you can get some additional information like details, when it was first seen. You can see something about the relations and also the behavior. So which websites does it connect to? What does it do? How does it evade detection? And so on. You can go really deep into the virus behavior. So you can detect malware on Linux, on a Linux system, even if you're very careful yourself. If you run a Linux server, a malicious user might upload malware, or it might be sent by email, and so on. Malware can appear on your Linux server, and there is a lot of malware being created for Linux. Because Linux is such a popular system in the server world, a lot of actors create malware for Linux. So you'll see here on Malware Bazaar, it's a database of known viruses, known malware. You'll see different unique fingerprints for these malware files. You see these are all for Linux, and right now this Mirai family of malware is popular. So you'll see there's lots of malware being created for Linux. Linux is not immune to malware for any reason. Virus creators create malware for Linux, especially because servers are such an important target for it. You can find out more about malware easily using VirusTotal. So let's say this Mirai family of malware, it's a group of malware viruses, is very popular now. So let's take a look at the file hashes, at the digital fingerprints. So you'll see it takes a second to load, but we'll know about this family. You'll see the Mirai family in the link here. And these are all Linux malware. You see here this ELF, which is the Linux executable. And there's lots of malware for Linux for this Mirai malware. So let's say we copy this fingerprint. You'll see SSH256 hash. This is the unique fingerprint. And these are all different files. And every file has this unique digital fingerprint. So let's copy this digital fingerprint for this specific one. And we paste it into VirusTotal. And you'll see which antivirus software detected it. So lots of antivirus didn't detect this specific malware. Now, you'll see it did detect here the VirusTotal. It found out that this is the Mirai malware. It's also a Trojan. If we go to the behavior, you can find out information about what this malware does. So you see its execution here is by scripting. So it runs some commands. Then it creates a system process. It tries to become administrator. We see here privilege escalation and evade detection. And then it does discovery, and it runs on a non-standard port, so on a non-standard communication line. So there is malware for Linux, and using VirusTotal, we can find out about the behavior. You can find information in the details, for example, the unique fingerprint here that is the same as we pasted. Now you'll see some other fingerprints here as well. So those are actually the same idea, but there are other ways to calculate these digital fingerprints. But it's the same idea. Now typically you would use SHA256 for the digital fingerprints, but you can use the others as well. They are older systems to create digital fingerprints. And so we also have this community here where you can find more information. So for example, you'll see here that this malware was detected in Germany. You'll see some network addresses here. So you can find additional information from users somewhere that are contributed. So this was observed in the wild and was uploaded. So you can find out a lot, and sometimes also network connections it's making, or in this case it's dropping the file. So you can find a lot of information in the virustotal.com.